Real life. Real stories. Let's see what's trending in Indianapolis. This is Paul Poteet on The Edge.
Paul, thanks for joining us today.
I need to adjust my settings because all I see is me right now, and I really want to see you too.
Oh, thank you for the consideration.
That's very nice.
Do you look the same? I can't see you. Do you look the same?
I look
Talk to me.
Totally different.
Actually, we're very monochromatic today. We've
Oh, I
noticed,
see you now. Yes, you're right.
we've noticed that there's not a point of color except for the blue backgrounds.
Yeah, and it kind of looks like we're dead a little bit.
A little bit
Is this a liturgical thing? Is there a certain type of year that we're celebrating right now with these sad gray color because it's getting cooler?
No, but I have a ruffle on.
she's got a ruffle.
Imagine if we were just talking about this on the radio a moment ago, the freedom you'd have if you didn't have to worry about clothes anymore, if you were a nudist.
Okay,
No.
I don't know where to go with that, Paul.
They just had, well, we were just talking about it. They just had this, the world's, what was it? The first, a new world's record for naked miniature golf. This isn't one of our stories because we could only talk about it on the radio. I couldn't show you it, on video. But 47 men and women in Sydney last Sunday. The young nudist of Australia had the world record for, and you want to know the percentage of men that were in this group?
Oh, I can't imagine. Tell me, Paul.
190, 70% of them were guys.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Paul, you can't do that. You can't bring a story that is so loaded with puns. I mean, I've got five right now.
Do you mean buns?
Yes, I do. See? He's toying with me. He is toying with me.
I know.
I'm not toying with you. I'm just puttering around. I mean, I'm just just bringing something. When you were talking about your clothes, I was thinking if you were one of those putting folks in Australia, you wouldn't even have to worry about it. But if you're a nudist, why would you get anywhere near miniature golf? That's what I want to know. Well, anyway, we have important breaking news.
Yeah.
You want me to do my anchor? We have breaking news for you right now.
Absolutely. Go for it.
We have a man, a pathologist. This is a guy who is driving around sometimes organs, and I don't mean like from church to church. I mean like our organs.
Okay, human organs.
He's a pathologist, and I guess he does a lot of transporting in the world. That's important. People are on waiting lists. People, it's the medical field, so time is of the essence. And he's driving around in his pickup truck last week. This Hoosier pathologist, and unfortunately, luckily, he didn't injure anyone, but he was noted driving erratically. So the cop pulls him over and notes a half-open bottle of vodka, and some organs and such in the vehicle too. So
he's driving his friends around.
He's Elmo Griggs, who's 75 years old, semi-retired, I guess. Pleaded guilty earlier.
But staying busy.
But yeah, he's trying to keep a hand in the field. You don't want to leave it. That's what I'm going to do with, once I get out of media, just kind of keep a hand in it at all times. I don't know that he kept a hand in the trunk or anything. But yeah, they did find some organs. It's okay, officer. I got another liver in the back seat.
Oh, there it is. Wow.
So
he came prepared.
If you're Elmo Griggs, you're probably the field. Let me just say this: the field for pathologists is probably a little bit broader now in Indiana. There's probably some job openings.
Yeah, there's a space open for organ transport there. Wow.
There's probably that's probably one of those things where there's a huge need and we just don't realize. It's like truck driving. There's a huge market for over the road truck drivers right now. Just kind of
there is, and training is open right now for organ transport drivers.
That's right. We need to connect with them and do a little marketing for them. All right, let's switch from pathologists to photographers. We're working our way down the piece. Only this is a cool. I thought it's a cool story. It's either cool, it's either cool and intriguing, or it's just creepy.
Right.
And you guys have to tell me. I never really could decide whether. First I thought this was cool, and then the more I thought about it, the more it was messing with my head. This photographer has photoshopped himself. Now he's in, I don't know, I'm guessing maybe his 20s. Mm-hmm. He's photoshopped himself very impressively into pictures of him when he was like a kid. Okay. Or a toddler or whatnot. And this is a very visual thing, but you got to see this.
Oh, wow.
Why?
Well, I'm guessing it's because he's a photographer. And so that's one of the things that people might want to, hire him for.
Oh, wow. This is weird.
And so, yeah, look at that. So he's broken the time-space continuum.
He really has.
Here.
And he's also like wearing some matching clothes. Look at the one with him playing the guitar next to himself singing.
That's... So what do you think? Do you think that's, I mean, it's technically, obviously it's impressive, but is it creepy to be living, I don't know, to know it's like a Twilight Zone
He's
episode.
like a wannabe time traveler. That's what
he's a time traveler.
Oh,
that's
one's creepy. That one's real creepy.
That's it, McFly. He's a time traveler. He took all of his gigawatts and put them into his software there.
Where they're going, we don't have any roads, just Photoshop layers.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
I don't know how I feel about this. I'm really perplexed by it.
I know.
I don't know if it's creepy or if it's creative.
Oh, wow.
I'm just kind of like, I don't know.
Well, it's creative, and like I said, it's impressive. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it can coexist. I don't know. I think it's also kind of and if he had, here's what I was thinking: if he had kids, if he had like a son, then if he put, photoshopped himself with his son, with himself when he was a kid, and it would be handy if he had his dad there too,
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Look at the one. Hey, guys, could you bring up the one that it looks like the Men in Black there?
The one in the suit?
Yeah, they're in the suits there, and okay.
He did a good job.
It's excellent work. I mean, the Photoshop work is just fantastic.
Kind of weird.
I don't know.
Yeah. Is it trying to recapture your childhood? I don't know. I looked at that, and then about 10 minutes later, and then I photoshopped myself from 10 minutes ago back into me currently, and then I was over it again. I don't know. It's like Scotty on Star Trek. You just expect him to be hitting those levers any moment now. And
yep, absolutely. Wow.
All right. Well, if there's a photographer watching in Indianapolis, there's a bit for you to market yourself, because I think people would see that and think, oh, this guy's creative and he's technically proficient. So maybe it's just good marketing.
Yeah, and if you like the borderline creepiness, then go for it.
Well, if you have a Halloween photo shoot coming up,
who doesn't? Who doesn't?
There's all kinds of terrible things. I mean, you could bring back family members that aren't around anymore. I mean,
he went there.
Yeah, it's okay. I've decided it's creepy. Okay, next. We've got all the votes. We've counted Pennsylvania. We're calling Pennsylvania. It's creepy. Okay. My mental election is over with. Now, speaking of elections, and they always show those big electoral maps, and I guess we've had now about 2 of these, kind of info maps.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here in this segment. I don't know why. I guess from 3 decades of pointing to maps behind me on TV, I'm attracted to maps. But check out this one, because we found this on the Edge in the last few days, and this is a map that purports to show each state's best known brand that's headquartered in that state. See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So Indiana, Cummins is headquartered here, and of all the brands that are headquartered here, that's the one that people across the country would be most familiar with. And I had a couple of people on Facebook say, well, what about Eli Lilly? Well, you may know the thing you take that's manufactured by Eli Lilly, that brand name, but you might not necessarily respond to Eli Lilly.
So it's about how everybody else knows you. So
yeah, it's how everyone else. What's the thing headquartered in your state that everyone knows the most? And some of them are really interesting. Some of them are just like Hershey's, really? That is it in Pennsylvania. I mean, it's that big?
Absolutely.
So they're headquartered in that state, and they're the best known. And it doesn't have to be the most sales anywhere. Look at Ohio. Did you realize that was the home base of Wendy's?
I recognize that. Yeah, but I wouldn't have taken. It's interesting. Some of these brands I don't even know, but most of them, if you were actually to put a brand and just associate a state, I don't know if I could do that. So there's a whole nother brand geography relationship that evidently a lot of people have. I do love Tabasco and Louisiana. I mean that. And
can we look at the map again? And I'll just say one word when we look at the map again.
Yep.
Florida. It's always Florida. If you're looking for a punchline, if you're looking for something weird in a bit on the radio or on TV that you haven't discovered yet, just look to Florida. Just a little bit. It's just some advice from somebody who's been around the block a few times. Always go to Florida.
Wow. You ever catch the Florida guy? Is it the Florida guy social media that is just the weirdest, oddest stuff that's happening? And there's just all these random people in Florida that are like putting a skirt on a gator, or I mean, it's pervasive with fecal matter in that social media. I don't know why, but it's always happening around Florida.
We need to be getting that on there then. And just of all the brands, of all the companies, I should say, headquartered in Florida, that's the one that's the best now.
I was surprised to see AOL on there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Are they anything other than they're just a website now, right? I mean,
aren't they the manufacturers of drink coasters? No, don't get it? All the discs that they sent out over the years.
You're just a little too witty for us.
Hang on. I'm going down. I'm going down. I can't. Taking me down.
Okay, make me feel that small. All right, no worries.
Although back in the day, if you timed it out, if you didn't mind all the time on the telephone, you could have, your free internet access. Pretty much, it would be stacked. Okay, I've got this free offer, and I remember what was the one, Earthlink or something? There was another freebie.
Yeah. It was Earthlink. It was Earthlink.
Earthlink, yeah.
Paul, thanks for trying to bail me out there. I really appreciate it.
Coasters.
Hang on, let me
I need Jim, our engineer. Can we Photoshop me a minute and a half ago hitting the bell instead of sinking down into the chair? Thanks. Okay, thank
He's
you.
on it.
All right, this segment is gold.
Wow. Well, speaking of some gold here, we'd love to hear a nice, shiny, sunny forecast.
Gosh, what a week, huh?
Oh, it's been beautiful.
Just beautiful, and we finally got, as I promised last time, we get the best of fall. We get not only the cooler temperatures, but we get them without the rainy days too. We get the nice cool nights and beautiful bright days, and you've got that for a few more days as we come to you streaming on Wednesday afternoon. It looks good until we get into maybe Sunday in the afternoon and evening. It looks like some showers. Then later Sunday into the first part of Monday, we were right around the normal high yesterday, mid-60s. And now, once again, for a few days, we're a little above normal, but not into the 80s. You're in the sweet spot there. It's hard. Usually, trust me, somebody can find something to complain about, but that's kind of a no stress pattern right there. And a little more rain on Sunday to bring some more leaves down. Boy, between the rain and the wind last weekend.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
we actually had an eagle project. My son was doing an eagle project over at Southeast Way Park, and we had a solid Saturday. But Sunday the plan was kind of scrubbed. We were making fire pits out there. They desperately need those fire pits, and just didn't happen on Sunday. Hey, did I spy that Tuesday was going a bit south in the
50s?
Yeah.
It looked like we could spend a couple of days next week with highs into the 50s. When is Halloween? Would that be the end of next week, maybe?
Yep.
So I didn't see any snow, though. I know we're on the lookout for that elusive Halloween snow, and that's not there yet. But
fantastic.
It's about the time of year we get our first frost usually by this time of year, so we're already beyond that. It can come in the middle of October by now.
Excellent. Well, it looks like a solid week, and we always appreciate that the you donning the weatherman hat there. So where can we?
I wear many hats, as you know, Aaron. So you can see all of my chapeaus at, I suppose, at paulpoteet.com. Pardon my French.
And try to see if you can find him in the elf hat. We've seen it. It's kind of disturbing, but if you look around the site, you may be able to find it.
Sometimes if you come by the compound late at night, I'm in my elf hat just pounding maple syrup on spaghetti noodles, reenacting a scene from Elf. It's disturbing, but probably viral.
I think so. We're going to have to set up some cameras.
Bring a camera. BYOC. Bring your own camera.
Well, Paul, thanks so much. And to all of our watchers and listeners, go check out paulpoteet.com. That's Potteet. Sorry.
What? No, it's not. That's not what it is. That's
even if you get close on Google, just type my name because it'll tell you.
Yeah.
Did you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And also,
look over there.
Where am I at there? It's down in
there we go. Look down there.
It's down there. Here, make this the freeze frame for this week's.
Oh, wow. Thanks for the vote of confidence there. Oh, my Lord.
Finish strong. Finish strong. That's my motto.
Bring back Baxter.
Carry on. We'll see you on the edge.
All right. Thanks so much, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
We always appreciate the news on the edge here. So thanks, and we'll see you next week.
See you then.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.